So, Dia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Today, we thought we would be interested to have a little discussion about
abortion.
Okay, hey guys, this is NDLP9, and today I'm actually doing something a little different. I'm having a discussion with two really interesting people, all the way from the United States. They have their own YouTube channel, Unframe of Mind, and they actually found me on Minds. And we've become friends, and we have things that we want to talk about and disagree about respectfully. And say hello, guys.
Good morning.
Hello.
We're glad.
Daniel and Lee, correct?
We're glad. Yes, yeah. I'm Daniel, and this is Lee.
I'm Lee.
And he's being retarded.
I am,
as usual. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you having us on your show. I'm pretty excited about it, and maybe I might reach a few Aussie ears over there. And
we're from America. We're gonna piss you off.
We're American.
Yeah. That's okay. Australians don't get offended easily at all. I think that's more that's the monopoly of like American leftists. Am I right? Or is that going to piss people off? Me saying that?
Yeah. We've already got people rage quitting the show already, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, there goes there's my livelihood down the drain.
Well, I'm kind of excited to be here today. I know. We were talking through Minds.com, and just you had found us, and I had published that.
Technically, you found me.
I found you, and
Stalker.
Yeah, I was showing off my new fancy guide I put together, which I'm super excited about it. And you said there was a few things that you wanted to discuss, so we agreed to come on the show and have that conversation with you.
Definitely. No, I completely, definitely some things resonated with me, and I think your worldview and my worldview are quite different, but that doesn't mean that we can't meet halfway at some point. And I liked the fake news guide because one of the topics is openness to opposing viewpoints, from what I can see here, and an ability or willingness to change your mind in light of new evidence. And this is something that people seem to struggle to do today. And I just want to get your take on first of all why that's in your fake news guide, and how you build on just elaborate and build on that.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why it's in the fake news guide is because individuals get into this, to not be cliche, but echo chamber of their own views, and anything that opposes their own view, they take a visceral reaction to it, and no matter if you're speaking the truth, they will find some little tidbit of information, no matter how insignificant, to falsify that statement or make it irrelevant to themselves.
Oh my god. Best thing you've ever said. So true. That is just you're preaching to the congregation.
and to add a small note to that, one of the reasons that this type of topic is in this fake news guide is because, when I went around researching this and I'm looking at all the other fake news guides, and if you type in guide to fake news or anything like that, you notice that the left-wing media tends to be the ones they're all the arbiter of what's considered fake news. Like every one of the top 10 results in Google are the New York Times, the Washington Post, PolitiFact, and
CNN.
Politico. Yeah, every one of them. And it's like none of them hold the reader of that fake news accountable. Like none of them say, okay, look, maybe you have some role in determining whether or not this is fake or whether this is real or not. And I felt like that was a really important thing to add to this guide, to make sure people do stop and look at themselves and go, wait a minute, maybe I do have some role in this. Maybe there's something I can change.
It's not that you as a person
the
have
reader.
The reader doesn't have some role. They are the initial role in this. They're probably, to me, they are the most important one, because everything's going to be filtered through their own lens.
Good point.
Well, I'm definitely sharing this fake news guide because I think it's definitely a really good handy manual for people to have.
I think
it's
I was just saying, I think it's good just because it's not telling you, hey, this is fake news, this is fake news. It's just giving you tools to put in your toolbox to differentiate no matter which site you're looking at. It could be Fox News, it could be CNN, it could be anything. Even us.
But honestly, there is fake news though. But I mean, it's nice that you're taking such an objective approach, but it's definitely fake news.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest part about writing it, is making sure that everything was from a purely principled viewpoint and not trying to point out all the errors that CNN makes and all the things that I couldn't do
but
that.
They're just so bad. It's just so easy. What about that Black Lives Matter girl? Oh, we just want peace. Well, we're gonna pummel them. Like, oh my god! Like they just they cut. I mean, Lauren Southern. I don't know if you guys are aware of her, but she did a very good fake news guide. Basically, all the news sources that you would assume are reliable are not reliable, and those that are considered to be conservative for some reason are deemed unreliable because Breitbart and Fox are considered evil for some reason or another, even though they seem to be relatively reliable, truth be told. But again, that's the point of your fake news guide, to give you the tools to figure that out on your own. And I just think it's important when you get news, don't just listen to the mainstream media. Do more than one Google search and do more. Just do your
due diligence.
Do your research and your due. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
I would say search more than just
due
Google.
Diligence.
Because, I mean, Google, they filter their results through their algorithms. So search Yahoo and Bing, even though those are soon to be dead anyway. But, do that.
Yes, no, but I agree. Yahoo, Bing, whatever else exists.
And let's not, I guess, use the buzzwords of fake news. Because a lot of news that's out there, no matter regardless of what side of the political spectrum it's on, it has a hint of truth. It's just mainly skewed completely to fit a person's narrative. So
and that's not news.
Yeah, it's
that's
disinformation.
That's an inherent bias.
It is. It's disinformation. It's bias. It's misinformation. And sometimes there's plenty of sites that people follow, like on Facebook, that is blatantly fake news. Now they'll be like, "Oh, okay, this shooting happened, but we're not going to give you any other information besides what fits our narrative."
Oh yeah, like Omar Mateen.
Yes, or there's one that I follow that I'll hound on them constantly. Well, on both sides, both on the left and the right. The left, Occupy Democrats is huge. They'll skew everything and leave out tidbits. And then on the right, a smaller one that I follow, which I call them out on every time, is Silence is Consent on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
They like.
Have you guys? Yeah.
I was saying when they were the Canadian shooting happened. They published an article like 16 hours later after we had the information that it was a white guy. They're like, oh, this Muslim guy who's in connection, blah, 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 shot up the place. They didn't say nothing about the white dude who actually did it.
Oh, of course not.
But it was 16 hours later after we had this information, and then they shared this article that's blatantly wrong.
Yeah.
Biased. Yeah.
Yes.
Or even get a little nauseating when
they have
people
a
are...
narrative. I don't understand what they have. I don't understand why they're trying to soften this narrative for. I don't know, for tolerance, for the sake of being tolerant and not being labeled as something. Like just state the facts and let people make their own judgments. Like, God, is that really that difficult?
Come on, that's too much to ask. You are asking way too much. Dia, calm down with all your demands.
It's so much easier just to state the facts than to sit there and create a bias to support your narrative.
I'm Mariah Carey. I'm such a diva.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but PolitiFact just came out with their own fake news guide about 2 days ago.
You know, Facebook's starting to do that too now.
Yeah, they're actually partnering with Facebook.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, don't get me started. The Facebook one is not.
It's horrible.
Real.
It's horrible. And I sat there
Everyone
and wrote this whole...
stick to frame of minds. One.
That's what I'm trying to do is hit people up that are looking at and sharing out all these other fake news guides. Like, dude, this is why it's wrong. And I actually wrote an entire article detailing point by point all the ways that this PolitiFact one was wrong. And the one that popped out to me the most is if you want to read this, it's also in the article section of Unframe of Mind, but it's the blatant hypocrisy that came up. As I'm reading through the articles, the author said, quote, some websites just want you to click on their pages to generate advertising revenue, as if that's a way you can tell it's fake news, right? The problem is moments later, as I'm sitting there reading this, a giant ad popped up for a garden nozzle that I could not click out of. I had to navigate back and to go back forward to the page.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, hold on. Do you even see how like blatantly hypocritic you're being here? You know, that you're calling out other sites for doing the exact same thing that you're doing. It's like, come on.
Of course not. They cannot acknowledge their own hypocrisies. Like funny thing is, like, this is why I like the fake news guide that you guys have done, because the second one is an ability and willingness to change your mind in light of new evidence. People are not able to do this. Like, it's so, for some people it is just too difficult to admit when you're wrong. For me, it isn't. If someone calls me out on something and then shows me the evidence, I can be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I was wrong about that, or whatever it is. But it's just too much to ask of the mainstream media today and many militant leftists. It's just I don't know, I don't get it. It's just too hard.
Yeah. So to your first point, you mentioned you like the openness to opposing viewpoints, and then you have to have that in order to move to the next stage, which is you have to be willing to change your mind in light of new evidence. So first you have to be open, and then you have to have this built-in switch, I guess, that you're willing to switch if you are facing huge counter evidence to what your current belief. And that took me a little while personally to get to, because I was very, you keep saying militant leftist. Well, I was a very militant atheist when I first switched over. Not to say that I haven't.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Not to say that I haven't had a bunch of. not to say that I haven't had a bunch of counter evidence or anything like that that has mounted to prove me wrong or change my mind, but. It took me a while to realize, okay, well, maybe I need to back off a little bit and not be so militant in my beliefs and be open and willing to change. And now I'm having much better conversations with people, and I'm actually listening and wanting them to challenge me and say, okay, so give me something, make me a believer. I want to know what it is that makes you a believer and help me out here. And it's made conversations so much better.
It would be. What made you an angry atheist? Like, why can't atheists be happy?
Hey, not angry. I wasn't mad. I was just very militant and very...
But militant, I conflate the word, sorry, this is probably, I'm projecting, but I conflate the word militant with anger.
Okay, we should probably have defined that ahead of time, I guess.
Angry atheist.
Let's define our terms.
Okay, well, anyway, no, I wasn't really angry. It was just very rigid and very like, this is the way it is, dude. You're an idiot.
Fine. Okay. Stubborn, perhaps.
Yeah, so it took a while, but that was just one example of many, because I transitioned.
So you weren't like Cult of Dusty?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, no, it was interesting though, because having this willingness to change my mind in light of new evidence has created now an anarchist. So because I started out as a hardcore lefty when I was young, and then I've transitioned into more of a Republican, into a libertarian, and then finally into this anarchist as the size of my government, need for government, I guess, shrank in my mind. But
and what about you, Lee?
As far as what?
Are you an atheist? Are you open? Are you a lefty? Are you a libertarian?
I don't know, really. You can define me however you please and place whatever label on me, but I'm open to everything, really.
I mean, it really is.
I used to be like Daniel. I wouldn't say militant atheist, but I was an atheist at one point. And
you weren't angry?
No. But I've gotten to the point in my life, especially with the whole religious argument. I'm like, I don't care. If you want to believe in God, please do so. As long as you're not harming other people while you're doing it, I don't care. If you don't believe in God, if you're a Pastafarian in the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, okay, I'll sit there and have a conversation with you, and I'll debate the merits.
Scientologist.
Yeah. Well, besides them, they suck. Fuck them.
We're all on the same page there.
Yeah. But other than that, man, if you want to have a discussion with me, I'm open to anything. It doesn't matter to me. I'm like a river, man. I just flow. That's it. I just go with life. There's no sense in sitting
similar evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no sense to me to sit there and go through life and be steadfast in certain things, man. Because life is never that way. You just got to go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a big shift in like the way people thought 5 years ago was so different to the way people think now. Just in terms of atheism and theists, I feel like there's been a bridge that is sort of now because of leftism and rightism being such a prevalent issue today. that there's been a bridge built between theists and non-theists. Do you agree with that observation?
I totally agree. I actually listen I listen to Stefan Molyneux quite a bit, and one of the things he's come around on is the fact that Christians really aren't the enemy, that we're more allies than we are enemies. And I totally agree with that. You can go back and look at one of our previous episodes where I speak with my friend. We had a Christian versus atheist conversation on YouTube, and
I saw it.
And we just had a conversation, and where before it would have been our conversation would have been going point by point. You're wrong, I'm right, and he'd be like, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and here's why. And it would have just been a battle back and forth, but we were able to talk.
It just doesn't get anyone anywhere.
I mean, it does sometimes. Those kind of shows are more for the audience, but to be honest, this conversation was more self-indulgent for me, where me and him were just pretending as if the cameras weren't on, and we were just talking, and that's how we normally talk, and it was fantastic. And I think that if we can have more conversations like that, and like you said, the bridges, if we can keep bridging those connections between people's commonalities and the things that they do agree on, I think we'll see a whole different switch and shift in the direction the world's going today.
Yeah, I definitely think that that Daniel and I's personal life actually attests to how open we are. Because I mean, we're both, despite the term atheist, we're non-believers. When it comes to a supreme deity of a religion, but both of our families are religious. Like my wife is religious.
Baptist?
And Christians.
Yeah, Christian.
So my wife is religious.
Christians
both
are the worst,
my kids go to school, go to church every Sunday, and I know Daniel's kids go to church as well.
Yeah,
but you don't see us saying, no, you're wrong, your viewpoints are wrong, you can't do this. Like, I'll sit there and kneel at my youngest son's bed every night and say, hey, come on, it's time to say prayers. So I'll kneel at his bed, I'll put my hands together, and he'll say his special little prayer that he says. And I don't mean special to demean anybody, but literally, he has his own prayer.
No, like, it's just,
not a dirt special.
No. He tells God to protect us and his family, to protect our dogs, protect his stuffed animals, and protect everybody else in the world.
Damn.
That's his special prayer that he says every night. He's been saying it every night for the past 4 years.
Do you do that as a loyal husband, sort of, or do you do that more because you see value in
I see value in it,
or like why?
I see value.
Why do you allow that to happen?
Yeah, I allow it to happen because, one, I see the value in it. Because he's looking out for other people besides himself. He wants to make sure if you want to get to where we discussed before, he is truly pro-life. He wants to help other people, and he's like that every day. He'll sit there and help little kids at school and all that other stuff. And
That's good.
And I have no problem feeding that portion of his life.
Yeah,
because it's not. It doesn't bother me any. I mean, if he ever gets to the point where his religion starts to hurt other people, then I'm going to step in and be like, "Hey, bro, you need to tone it down a little bit, and here's the reasons why." I'm not going to attack his faith because of it. But
I don't think anyone wants to end up like the Westboro Baptist Church.
Exactly.
So imagine if you didn't have that openness, and you've got no bridge between you and your son, where all of a sudden his alternate beliefs are now putting you at odds with him. I think those are the kind of situations you see where websites like fake news and things like that do come out are able to take advantage of that gap between people and further divide them and really push each other
about division
apart. That's the whole thing, and that's another huge project I've got coming up, talking about just that. Is this idea that I don't think statistically there is a such thing as racism or sexism or black versus white, rich versus poor. All these divisions are just being exploited to keep people from having these conversations.
It's all the same thing. It's all the word prejudice. Like it's all the same thing, and I think it's only harmful depending on the extent in which you manifest it. Like I have things I discriminate against actively. Like, people that say that they don't discriminate are lying, I think, because I discriminate against things. I think we all do.
Yeah, I mean, if you have identified something as evil and you don't discriminate against it, are you not as guilty as everybody else?
Oh, exactly. But actually, I was talking about something a little bit, like, for example, I won't go out with a guy who's like 5, 6, 7 years younger than me. I go out of my way to not end up in that circumstance because I have that age prejudice, and I know that
So you don't,
maybe 2
date
years.
like 11-year-olds?
No, I just, I discriminate against 11-year-olds. I know it's intolerant of me, but I just feel like
I just called her 18.
it's just something about me.
I tried to compliment her. She didn't even catch it.
No, I went with the joke. I just kept going with the joke, and I'm like, yeah.
Those damn 11-year-olds. Those damn 11-year-olds.
Fact is, everybody has a little bit of discrimination, no matter what it is. It just depends on how the world views that discrimination as right or wrong. Okay, you're 30-something years old. Of course I didn't discriminate against 16-year-olds. I'm not going to date a 16-year-old because I'm going to go to jail. Everybody considers that discrimination a good thing, so they don't bring it up.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't illegal.
True that. I mean, yeah.
Maybe.
But thank you for the belated compliment.
I discriminate against Asia's driving.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
Oh my god, but they're always so slow.
I really don't discriminate. Old people driving, that sucks. Okay, it's 70 miles an hour. You're doing 40 in the fast lane. Come on.
What about women drivers?
Yeah. I'm not a very good driver myself.
Every American in
That's
the
fake
USA
news.
Sucks.
Fake news. Dia Latina, fake driver.
Everybody
fake driver.
sucks
She's not even a
driver.
real driver. I know this for a fact. She doesn't even drive cars.
I can drive a stick.
Oh,
Word.
so I've heard.
But
I can, except that I now drive an auto, and because I drive an auto now, I've lost my driving ability. It's really bad. I used to be able to drive really well when I had a manual. We say manual here in Australia. We don't say stick. I just know that you guys say stick.
I say manual.
Yeah, but now
Manual
that I drive
standard.
an auto, I'm not doing as much. Like, I'm not thinking as much because, you have to do the foot, you have to do the clutch. So I'm not thinking as much. I get more fines with an auto. But sorry,
Everybody needs to
I've gone on a
drive a
tangent.
man.
Yeah, that's a hell of a tangent. You want to try to wrap this? I'll let you start wrapping this one up, so we don't.
Yeah, don't worry. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
No,
there.
it's all
good. But yeah, no. So basically, yeah, I think we should just be very open. I think we've had a pretty good discussion so far. And I think, yeah, I'll have you guys back on, and I'll be back on yours. Sounds like we have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, don't be Trump and put those walls up.
Sorry?
I said, don't be Trump and put those walls up. Keep those walls down. Keep yourself open. No, that was not a political statement saying I do support or don't support the wall either. It was just a metaphor. Calm yourselves. Thank you.
No, that's all right. I don't mind the wall, to be honest. But okay, let's wrap up.
I appreciate you having us on and giving us a chance to talk about this fake news guide. I'm really excited about it, and I really hope people can find great use in it.
I'm all about the STD, the stats, truth, and data, which is all on your website, unframeofmind.com. And if people want to catch you, they can catch you on Twitter /unframeofmind.com. Correct?
Yes, ma'am. Twitter
And also on Minds.
Minds, yes, and on our website. All our links are on our website.
Yes. And I'll put them all in the description box when I decide to release this beautiful audio.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Thanks, Dia.
Oh, I'm so excited to have my new American friends.
Yes, ma'am. This is awesome.
If we were
It's really good.
If we were inside your house right now, I'd fire my pistol off. America!
My dad would come and probably try to shoot you, and then my mum would probably just offer you some cocaine.
Oh, wow.
I'm happy to know if I ever go to Australia, I'm going to wind up missing.
That's right. We'll know what happened.
That's how we roll. All right.
Turns out Dia's
so
dad
much,
just he went ballistic.
I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Starting the audio recording now. Okay, so whenever you are ready to start, we will.
On an apple fritter.
Okay, cool. All right, so hang on.
You should get a napkin and put that, because that bag does wrinkle. I can hear every bit of that.
I know. That's why I was going in there during the show.
It's so loud.
I'm an a-hole like that.
I'm over here bumping my mic, and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Lee's like, I don't give a shit.
I like to give you editing pounds.
I've heard so much of Lee. I've heard Lee fart. I think I know Lee much too well now.
You've gotten to know him on a very deep level.
Yes. I'm a very open person. I mean, I'll talk about anything. I don't care.
Stop sniffling.
Sorry.
Alright, I'm going to try and start now, but just... Oh my god, I'm going to have to do more than one take possibly with the introducing. Okay, I'm going to give it a whirl.
Sometimes I do it too, so just whatever you got to do. It can always be edited.
Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to give it a whirl.